Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This brother Gedalia coming back at you with another lesson on Your House Won't Stand Without a Strong Foundation, Part 2. Before I get into it, I'd like to give a call halal Yahweh, by Hashem, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalom to all the brothers out there that's inbound and doing the work of the Lord, the manufacturing ministry. They doing whatever it is they got to do to show the hope for elect. Shalom to Shalom to all the Aquaf out there, the ones that's married, actually reverencing their husbands. They being steadfast, shamefaced, they being diligent. They doing whatever they got to do to manufacture ministry and being a teacher of good things at home. And Shalom to all the Aquaf that's not married as of yet, but they being diligent, they study and abstaining from the lust of this world. Shalom to all the children out there that's being obedient, to their parents, they stand on fire and zealous in this thing. They stand away from the concupiscence and the lust of this world, man. So yeah, man. So this is another lesson on your house won't stand without a strong foundation. A lot of us, we dive in this thing, we come into this truth, and we try to learn all of the deep dark secrets of the word, of the scriptures. We try to find all the in-depth breakdowns and things like that, but we forget, the foundation. Hey, we might be in this thing for a while. Might have been in this truth for a while. All praise to the Most High. And we forgot the fundamentals, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's like you can't play basketball without knowing how to do a layup. You can't shoot a jump shot without knowing the fundamentals on how to shoot it. So we gotta always come back to the fundamentals. You gotta practice these things and perfect these things. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta get strong in doing these things, man. Because a lot of us don't. Remember and turn back to the fundamentals, man. And we forget, who we are, what is righteousness, and things like that. As a matter of fact, let's get into what is righteousness. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Get this precept right quick. Just dive right into it, man. What is righteousness? Deuteronomy chapter 6. In verse 25, it says, "And this shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as He hath commanded us." So we gotta do the righteousness is to do all the commandments, to do every commandment. Hey, we gotta go out and we gotta be an example and be a light all the time. You gotta do and how do you be a light? By following the commandments. You gotta do the commandments. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta follow. You gotta do what the Lord has told you, man. Let's go to Romans chapter. Another precept. Let's go to Romans chapter 8 and verse number 4. You gotta follow the commandments, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people, hey, we dive in this thing, after we found out, yeah, we're Israelite, hey, and we the Lord's chosen, and, a lot of us, how Eve be, hey, they get proud with that, and they forget everything that they supposed to do. They forget the requirements, what the Lord requires. The Lord requires that you keep His commandments, that you walk in His ways. Deuteronomy 10 and 12, man. You gotta do His commandments, man. Keep the ordinance of the Lord. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse number 4. It said that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. So what I'm saying? Hey, what is the Spirit? Hey, what is the Spirit? Hey, we don't walk after the flesh. Because let's get that in Galatians, man. This is why we don't walk after the flesh, man. That's why we can't. The book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 5. In verse 17, it says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these things are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." Hey, so like it said in the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 4, it said that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So we gotta walk after the spirit so that the law can be fulfilled in us. You know what I'm saying? We can't fulfill the law. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Being proud. Hey, I know I'm an Israelite. I know I'm chosen. Then you feel like, okay, I ain't gotta do nothing else because I'm chosen. That's damn. You might as well say you're a damn Christian. That's all you do is believe. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't just believe and say, okay, I'm spiritual. Hey, because what is spiritual? Let's see what it is. This Romans chapter 7 and verse 14. Right here, it said, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, so under sin." You know what I'm saying? So the law is spiritual. The law is a spiritual thing, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta fulfill we gotta fulfill the righteousness of the law, you know what I'm saying? Hey, by keeping the commandments of the Lord. We can't forget that. We can't forget that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, walking in this truth. Hey, we diving into this knowledge. The Lord giving us more understanding, and He giving us some discernment and things like that. And we can't forget the fundamentals. We can't forget that. We got to always come back to, you know what I'm saying, the foundation. And that is keeping those commandments and how to keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you know what I'm saying, we are God's chosen. You know what I'm saying? So who is the Most High's chosen? Who is Yah? Who did Yah choose? Let's go to Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because and this for the people that don't know that they're Israelite shit, but they said them signs. That's a wonder. For a sign and a wonder, Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy 28, it's like Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37, if I'm mistaken. Gotta make sure I got that precept. Oh, Salaki. It was Deuteronomy 28 and 46. Salaki. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The signs and the wonders said, we gotta know who God's chosen is and who these, you know what I'm saying, and who our people is. You know what I'm saying? Even some of our people know that they're Israelites. You know what I'm saying? But they forget that they gotta keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's people out here that don't know that they're the Most High chosen. But like it said in Deuteronomy 28 and 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. You know what I'm saying? And that's these curses. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, why does these things only happen to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans? You know what I'm saying? These signs and wonders that's waking, that's getting you, that the Lord is opening up your eyes to see, like, man, these only happening to our people, to my so-called people. You know what I'm saying? So who is God's chosen? Who's the Most High God's chosen? Who did Yahweh choose? Ooh, excuse me. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 44. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 44 and verse number 1. It says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen." So the Lord chose the Israelites. The Lord chose the seed of Jacob. The Lord chose Jacob. He chose He chose that bloodline. He chose Abraham. He chose out of Abraham. He chose Isaac, and then from Isaac's seed, because he had Esau and Jacob, and he chose Jacob. He didn't choose no other nation of people. He chose the seed of Israel. He didn't choose nobody else. So you know what I'm saying? So-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. And these signs, these signs and wonders that you're trying to figure out, like why are these things happening to our people? Hey, that's because we didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments. That's why people go through what they go through to this day. Like it said in Baruch 3 and 8. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we are yet this day in our captivity because why? We broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. So we gotta seek Him 10 times more, as it said in Baruch 4 and 28. We gotta seek the face of the Lord. Hey, how do you seek the face of the Lord? Hey, learn how to keep His commandments and seeking out His righteousness, what righteousness is according to the Lord, according to His word. So we gotta keep seeking out the righteousness. Hey, and the righteousness, is to keep the ordinance and the commandments of the Most High. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Classic. It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. It say, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Hey, the Lord said, hey, He chose Israel, right? He chose Jacob. He chose the seed line of Israel. Because that's Jacob's name. The Lord changed Jacob's name into Israel. You know what I'm saying? He said, Jacob I have chosen. Jacob his servant, Israel who He chose. Isaiah 44 and 1. You know, this is who He chose. He chose the Israelites, man. He didn't choose the damn so-called African. You know what I'm saying? Africans, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they sold us into slavery to the so-called Europeans. This is why, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, hey, that He set the enemy against us, man. He set us over top. We gotta serve our enemies. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we serving our enemies, man. You know, and the reason why is because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, man. Because we forgot the Most High's commandments. We forgot to keep the ordinances. We forgot, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we know we was Israelites and we got proud. Hey, we know we got chosen and we got proud. So, hey, coming into this thing, hey, you know that you're chosen. Hey, you know that the Most High chose you, chose the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because they are Israelites according to the Bible. And when the Lord give you the understanding, hey, don't take the understanding and just go the hell off, man. Don't take that understanding and just go the hell off. Like, okay, yeah, I'm an Israelite, and that's all. And don't do nothing and don't do no works. The Lord said, hey, faith without works is dead. So, hey, you believing, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you believing in that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that, hey, it's something that the Lord requires, and the Lord requires you to keep the commandments. As it said in Deuteronomy chapter 10, in verse 12. I'll just bring it out because I'm already in the book of Deuteronomy. It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, 12. It said, "And now Israel, what doeth the Lord?" So like, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna hold that. Let's get more in depth right quick. So like, bouncing around a little bit. I bounced around. Let's go back. I'm gonna hold that. Because let's get more in depth on who the chosen is. Let's go to Isaiah. In the book of Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 43. 43 and 16. Because we need to understand who the Lord chosen is. You know what I'm saying? And the people that don't know that they're the Lord chosen, that don't know that see these signs and wonders, you know what I'm saying? Who are ignorant and in the world, you know what I'm saying? But now the Most High has blessed them with eyes to see, you know what I'm saying, ears to hear, you know, and took that veil from off their eyes, you know what I'm saying? And they starting to see these signs and wonders is only happening to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Starting to see that, hey, we the only people that go through these curses. You know what I'm saying? The only thing, everything that happens in America that happens to us, getting killed by the damn police. Hey, the justice system is injustice to us. You know what I'm saying? Shows injustice to our people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they the land of the free. Hey, but we fill up most of the prison system. Hey, they putting Planned Parenthood in every neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Every so-called ghetto. You know what I'm saying? With a so-called black Spanish Native American state, because there ain't no Planned Parenthood in no counties. Ain't no Planned Parenthood out there in those so-called white people neighborhoods. You know, ain't no Planned Parenthood. They ain't worried about no abortions. You know what I'm saying, out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's messed up because hey, they don't attack. They attack our people. You know what I'm saying? And the genitals. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They. Let me get that out of Exodus, man. So like, before I get in, man, it's just a lot of things that you know what I'm saying that our people don't understand, man. This is why. This is why. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1. This is why I'm gonna start at verse 7. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, and verse number 7. And this is why they try to attack us at the generals. They try to take us out and they keep killing us and they keep trying to keep us in sin. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want us to multiply how the Lord said we gonna do. It's the book of Genesis. This is the book of Salaki. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 7. It said, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't want us, hey, it's a lot of us. Hey, hey, that's why they put Planned Parenthood to control how many babies we have. To control how, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they don't want it to be more of us than them because they fear like, hey, we're gonna take over. We populate this earth so much, their race ain't gonna matter no more. Gonna wipe out their nation just by, you know what I'm saying, being fruitful. You know, and it said, it's verse number 8. It said, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. Hey, because hey, we are strong people. Hey, the Lord said in Deuteronomy 7 and 6 that we are special people unto himself. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we holy. We are holy people. Hey, the Lord told us that, hey, the Lord made us fruitful. And it said, and then it said, this is right here. This is what happens. And it said, this verse number 10. It said, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they're fallen out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. And it said, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built Pharaoh treasure cities and things like that. But this is the point right here that I'm making. But it says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Hey, so hey, the more we get afflicted, the more we gonna multiply. No matter how many babies they try to take out, hey, no matter how many times they kill our sons, rape our daughters, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, steal our black women, you know what I'm saying? Our so-called black women, our sisters, hey, kill our so-called black brothers, you know what I'm saying? Our Israelite brothers, and they killing our Israelite sisters out here, and we multiplying more. For every 2 or 3, we having 3 or 10 times more. Gotta be chosen, man. That's what happens to our people. These so-called, these are our oppressors, man. You know what I'm saying? In this land of our captivity, hey, they attack us at the genitals because they don't want us to keep growing. They don't want us to keep spreading. Gotta be the Lord's chosen. Let's see. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's read Isaiah. Let's read Isaiah, chapter 43 and verse 16. Again, let's say, and I will bring the blind. Slaki, this 43. Slaki, that's wrong. Con. Okay. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, and verse number 16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea and a path." Hold on. Hold on, Salaki, bear with me. Saith the Lord, my servant. Con. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Con. This the book of Isaiah, chapter 43 and verse 10, Salaki. It said, "Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me." You know what I'm saying? So look, he said, hey, we are the ones that believe. We the ones that know that there is only him. That there was no God before him. And Lord, hey, we put everything in front of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we go through what we go through. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and the people that don't know that they're Israelites shit, hey, the Lord said we are chosen. Put down these other things. Put down the ways of this world, man. Put off the ways of this world. Come up out of her. That world, man. Come up out of it, man. Hey, and come and serve, and come back and serve the Lord. And come back and seek the righteousness of the Most High and keep the commandments. Hey, Israel, you know what I'm saying? The ones that don't know that they're the Most High's chosen people. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's who God's chosen is, the Israelites. And another precept. It's Isaiah 41. And verse number 8. It said, "But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend." So look, like I was saying earlier, man, hey, he chose Abraham. Abraham had a son. He had a son named Ishmael. He didn't choose Ishmael. You know what I'm saying? That was the son of the flesh. You know what I'm saying? He chose Isaac. The spirit. She chose Isaac. And then guess what? Isaac had who? Esau. And then guess who came out after Esau? Jacob. And guess who he chose? Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and then guess what? The Lord said, hey, I chose Jacob, and guess what? Israel, your children, the whole 12 tribes of your children, I chose them. I chose these. I chose his seed, his remnant that he gonna leave behind. His the ones that's gonna exceed him. These are the ones I chose. I'm gonna change your name from Jacob. Your name is Israel, and we are gonna. I'm choosing Israel because you are a nation. We are a nation of people, a whole nation of people that don't know what their nationality is. We are the only ones, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that see these signs and wonders and still don't know who we are. We are the Israelites according to the Bible, the Most High's chosen people. We are the elect, the hopeful elect, the Most High's chosen people. Not every, now, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong on that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the elect isn't going to be the whole nation of Israel. Don't get me wrong on that. You know what I'm saying? The whole nation of Israel, but the elect dwell in Israel. Let's get that. Let's go to Isaiah 45 in verse 4. It says, "For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me." So look, we don't. He is surnamed us. He gave us Israel, and we don't even know that we Israelites. That's why he said, "Hey, even though that might have that you don't know me, hey," he said, "Israel, mine elect." Hey, the elect is in Israel. Let's get there. Let's go to Matthew. Matthew chapter 24. The book of Matthew chapter 24. It's the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 24. It said, "For these shall arise." It said, "For these shall arise. For these shall arise." Salaki. Read it again. It says, it's the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 24. It said, "For these shall arise false Hamashiachs, false Christs, and false prophets, and shall grow Shalaki, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." He said, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Hey, the elect are the ones who know the Lord. Hey, who's not going to be dismayed by these false prophets? Hey, they're not gonna be they're not gonna fall for they're not gonna get duped by no Benny Hinn, Creflo Dollar. They're not gonna get duped by these false prophets, by these ones that's these magicians and sorcerers that do these great wonders like they Christ, like they the Hamashiach. But they're not gonna. It said that it said that they shall this. It said that if it were possible, it says in so much that if it were possible, it won't be. It's not gonna be possible for them to fool the elect. For these false prophets and these false Christs, it's not gonna be possible for them to fool the elect. Said they shall deceive the very elect. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke chapter 18 and verse number 7. So why the elect, man? Hey, the elect is in Israel, as it said in Isaiah 44, so like 45 and verse 4. You know what I'm saying? It says, you know what I'm saying? Hey, "For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect." So the elect dwell within Israel. So let's get that. Let's go to Luke chapter 18. Luke chapter 18 and verse. I thought it was 18. Okay, hold on. Luke chapter 18 and verse number 7. It says, stop at 8. All right. It says, this the book of Luke, chapter 18 and verse number 7. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, these are the elect are the ones who cry day and night. You know what I'm saying? Hey, day and night. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, calling the, hey, you're praying to the Lord for to bring the death and destruction to this damn land of captivity. Hey, the ones who's in this, the elect are the ones that's vexed by this world, but that's vexed by this captivity. The ones that's not in this thing, that's not in this nasty world, this lewd world, man. All types of homosexuality and down niggerdom stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All this wickedness that's in this world. Hey, they vexed by it. These are the elect. The one that's vexed by this world. Hey, the ones that, hey, they can't stand it here. They hate it here. These are the ones that in real life hate it here. The elect, the ones that's, you know what I'm saying, that's, hey, they putting off the ways of this world, you know what I'm saying, because they don't give a damn. They calling for the Lord to down, bring the death and destruction to this place. These are the elect. And it said, verse 8, it said, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth? You know what I'm saying? So when the Son of Man come back, he's going to see that, hey, his elect stay faithful. His elect didn't go off, they didn't fall back into the world, they didn't backslide because they hated him. They hate, they excuse sin, just like Job. Because these are the elect are the ones that fear the Lord and vexed by the world. Let's go to Sirach. As a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 65. Isaiah chapter 65. Oh, missed it. Jeremiah. Slacky. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 9. Because who are the elect, man? We gotta know this. We gotta know this. Now I'm gonna go to the Apocrypha first. This the book of Sirach, chapter 47 and verse number 22. It said, but the Lord will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish, neither will he abolish the prosperity of his elect, and the seed of him that loveth him he will not take away. Wherefore he gave a remnant unto Jacob, and out of him a root unto David. You know what I'm saying? So look, only a remnant is gonna make it out. Only when the Lord, when Yahushua comes back, you know what I'm saying? Hey, to make this land desolate, the destroyer of the Gentiles, when he come back, he's gonna seal the elect. The angels are gonna seal the elect. He's gonna get his elect up out of here. The Most High is gonna get his elect up out of here, and then he's gonna destroy the rest of his world. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because he's gonna save them speedily, as it said in Matthew 24. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna save them. He's gonna get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and he said, hey, he said he will not abolish. He said neither will abolish the prosperity of his elect. You know what I'm saying? And who's the elect? The ones that spring up out of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The ones that spring up out of Israel, as it said in Isaiah, man. As it said in Isaiah 40, like Isaiah 45:4. You know what I'm saying? Those are gonna be his elect. You know what I'm saying? The ones who spring out of there, man, out of Israel. And it said he's gonna have a remnant unto Jacob, a remnant, a people that exceed him. You know what I'm saying? A seed line, a lineage of people, a nation of people. Well, who sprang out of Israel? Judah. The tribes of Judah, the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, and Naphtali. These are the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You got the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. You know, but all 12 tribes of Israel, if we come back and follow and repent and keep these commandments and do what the Lord said and follow His ordinances, how we're supposed to do, hey, that we're not gonna be a part of that 2/3 that get killed. They get killed off by the Lord. Hey, but let's get back. Hey, so let's see who the elect is, and this should clarify. You know what I'm saying? This gonna clarify it up right here. It says, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, and verse number 9. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. See that? See that? The elect is going to inherit the kingdom. It's going to inherit the mountains. They're going to have the inheritance of the Lord. And his servants, the ones that's out here busting their tail, doing the labor for the work, doing the labor for the Lord. That's out here, fasting, making everybody live a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? They out here showing their people their transgressions. They out here, giving alms. They out here, being a light. You know what I'm saying? Wearing their fringes, keeping the commandments of the Lord, not eating the unclean foods. They not doing all types of idolatry and things like that. They abstaining from all the lust of this world. These are the servants. The elect are the ones that's going to inherit this place. Are going to it's going to get the inheritance of the Lord. It's going to have the prosperity of the Most High. These are the elect. These are the servants. The saints that's going to dwell in the land after the Lord come back. These are the saints, man. Let's see who the saints are. This is the book of Psalms. I was holding it. This is the book of Psalms. Chapter 148 and verse 14. It says, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So, These are the saints, the children of Israel. We are the saints, the ones that's serving the Most High, the ones that's praying to the Most High, the ones that's doing things for the Most High. The ones that wake up every morning and we praise them, and we praise the Most High. We praise Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. We the ones that wake up to Wa Bakar Yahweh, to Wa Bakar Yahweh Shah. Good morning, Yahweh. Good morning, Yahweh Shah. The water hour for letting us see another day. These are the ones that we walk in the ways of the Lord, the servants, the ones that truly serve the Lord, are His saints, the ones that stand, the ones that's righteously judging the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it says, 1 Corinthians. You said we are those saints. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 1. It's like. The book of Ephesians, chapter 1. Select it. Book of Ephesians, chapter 1, and verse number 1. Yeah, it's the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, and verse 1. It says, Paul, an apostle of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, how people say Jesus Christ, by the will of God, to the saints which are at Ephesus, and to the faithful in Christ Yahweh, in HaMashiach Yahweh Shah. It said, let me read that again. It said, Paul, an apostle of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, you know what I'm saying, how I say people say Jesus Christ, by the will of God, to the saints which are at Ephesus. See that? The saints that was in Ephesus, and to the faithful in HaMashiach Yahweh Shah. It said, grace be to you and peace from the Most High, from Yah, our Father, and from the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord said, hey, gonna be grace and peace to His saints. That's coming from the Most High. Paul was talking to the saints. It was saints in Ephesus. Another precept. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Let's see what these saints are. Let's see what the saints are. 1 Corinthians. The book of 1 Corinthians. See, and this was Paul. It said, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse number 1. It said, and Paul, called to be an apostle of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach through the will of God, and Sothians, our brother, unto the church of God which is at Corinth, to them that are sanctified in HaMashiach Yahweh Shai, called to be saints, with all that in every place call upon the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach our Lord, both theirs and ours. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the saints, the ones that called upon Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. Paul was sending letters to the churches, and the church is Israel. That's who the church are, the congregation of Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The people of Israel. That's who the church is. Let's get that. hold that right quick. We're going to get who the church of the Most High is. So get bear with me. I had that precept and it kind of like, it's right on top of my head and it went away. Huh. Yeah. So I'm going to read that again. Yeah, calm. Because Paul was talking to the churches in these different countries, these different parts of the world, you know what I'm saying? And Paul sent letters to, you know, which is the church of Ephesus, the church of Corinth, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no actual church. It was a body of people. You know what I'm saying? And the body of those people, which were called the church, you know what I'm saying? Israelites was called the church by the Most High God, because they was the people that gathered around and they spoke His name. You know what I'm saying? And they worshiped the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They kept the commandments. They was known to keep the commandments. This is the book of Acts chapter 7. Let's go to the book of Acts chapter 7. Acts. Let's see what the church is. Right quick. Because I don't want our people thinking, oh yeah, you see, we go to church. No. The Lord ain't dealing with them nasty churches, man. It's the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse number 37. And it said, this is the book of Acts chapter 7 and 37. It said, this is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear. So this is Moses talking to the Israelites in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Telling them that, hey, the Lord gonna bring up a prophet. And who he was talking about? He was talking about, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? It said, like unto me, him shall ye hear. So he was telling them he was gonna bring up a prophet like him, as like unto him. But hey, hear him. And it said, it's verse 38, it said, this is he that is in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. You know what I'm saying? So he was saying, you know what I'm saying, that hey, it was Yahweh Shai, the spirit of Yahweh Shai was with the angels. Then when the law was given. You know what I'm saying? When the law was given, when he gave the law to his people. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord gave Moses the law to give to the people of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And then he was prophesied that a prophet unlike him, like unto him, was gonna come up, and you're gonna hear him. You're gonna do what he say, because Yahweh Shai didn't go off. Yahweh Shai kept the commandments, and he told us to keep the commandments. He said, don't let these churches fool you, saying that the commandments is done away with, that Yahweh Shai didn't keep the commandments, because that's off. So the real church are the ones that's out there doing the works. That's in the highways and hedges, calling our people back to the Lord. That's the real church, the Israelites. But anyway, back to the lesson. Got a little sidetracked because I didn't want nobody to get confused about what the church was, who the actual church is. You know what I'm saying? The church of the Lord are the saints, and the saints are the Israelites. Let's go to Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5. It said, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice." So these are the ones, you know what I'm saying, the ones that made the covenant with the Lord. And who are the ones that made the covenant in the wilderness? Hey, the Israelites. The Israelites made the covenant with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites are the ones that was in the wilderness with Moses, and he gave the commandments to. They said, well, if we keep these commandments, hey, we was going to be set on high. But we're not, because we didn't keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we set low. He said if you didn't keep the commandments, you'd be set low. You know what I'm saying? That's Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. You know what I'm saying? He said if we didn't hearken diligently to his commandments, and all these curses won't come upon us and overtake us. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we the ones that had that covenant, the ones that's going through these curses because of the fact that, guess what? We didn't keep the commandments. So now, you know what I'm saying, our foundations are weak. Our foundations are jacked up because we don't have it on foundation, nor do we know how to even build a house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and we looking for these wicked, nasty preachers, and that's in these churches on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Hey, to build up a house for us. We can't do that. Hey, they can't build up no house. Because you know why? They don't stand on no commandments. They don't stand on no foundation. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Daniel. Through the Spirit, I might do a part 3. It's the book of Daniel chapter 7. That's not Daniel. It's the book of Daniel chapter 7. I want the one. Book of Daniel chapter 7. Verse 27. It said, "And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given unto the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him." So see that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, the kingdom is going to be given unto the saints. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the elect will have the kingdom as an inheritance from the Lord, and all his saints and servants are going to dwell there. They're going to dwell in there. They're gonna inhabit the land. You know what I'm saying? After the Lord come back and make this land desolate. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and destroy the heaven of the so-called enemy, of the so-called white man. And the damn Arab man, and the damn Moabite man, and the damn Ammonite man, and the damn Hamite man, the damn Elamite. All these people that had our people in captivity, he's gonna destroy these people, and he's gonna put Israel back on top. Hey, But I'll come back with another lesson through the Spirit. I did give a call, Allah Yahweh should be how it shot. All praise to the Most High. Lord willing, this video will be edifying. Call me Astrala. Shalom.